Hi second graders, Mrs. Shook again. We're on grade 2 skills, unit 2, lesson 6. Our learning goals for today: reading the tricky words are, were, and some, completing a graphic organizer about the story The Milk that we read a few days ago, and adding the ing ending to words ending with the letter E. First up are tricky words. Remember, tricky words are words that their spelling and letter sounds are not typical. First, we have the word are. Are you going to the mall? All of the letters in the word are tricky, meaning that they make a different sound than you would expect to see. We're used to A saying ah, R saying and E saying eh, but that word does not sound that way. Are. Next, we have were. The E-R-E is tricky, especially since we've been learning about the E consonant E ending where the E has a long vowel sound. But this time it doesn't. This word is were. Were you going to do your homework? And some. Once again, we've been talking about the magic E ending, but in this case, the O is not. This is not a magic E. The O is not a long vowel sound. It's an sound. Some. Some of you might already know this. Okay, and as we talked about in the beginning slides, we're going to do some writing. We're going to first fill out a graphic organizer, and that is part of what's called the writing process. The writing process are all the steps needed to create a well-developed piece of writing. The first step is to plan. If you can see in the picture, the little boy has a bunch of question marks around him. He's thinking of ideas, getting all the details, planning what he wants to do. The next step is a draft. And a draft is when you write out your first idea. So in the plan, you have ideas, you might have an organizer or notes. Then you put those notes into a written draft. You write it all out and make sentences. The last step shown here is edit. That's when you finish your draft and you go through and check things, make sure the details make sense, sentences are in the correct order, you revise, you fix, you improve. And then at the end, you make a final copy and you're all done. So today we're doing the planning process. Draft, edit. But again, today we're doing planning. So we have this graphic organizer. At the top it says title. We have the characters, which are the people or animals in the story. The setting, which is when and where the story takes place. And then this whole bottom part is the plot, which are the events of the story, breaking it up into beginning, middle, and the end. Okay, the story reread is called The Milk. So at the top of the page, we're going to write the title, The Milk. Okay, so we'll read our story one more time together, and then we'll fill out the graphic organizer. So, The Milk. We did read the story the other day. Mike's dad was getting set to tell a bedtime tale. He said, "The name of this bedtime tale is The Milk. Once upon a time, a lass named Jane set off from home to sell a bucket of milk. As she went, she was thinking of the cash she would get from selling the milk. 'I have big plans. I will sell this milk,' she said, 'and I will use the cash to get a hen. I hope my hen will make lots of eggs. Then I will sell those eggs and use the cash to get a cute piglet. I will take care of the piglet and let him munch on pig slop till he gets nice and plump. Then I will sell the pig and get a nice dress that I can dance in and—' But just as she was thinking of the dress, she tripped on a stone and the bucket fell with a crash. The milk splashed on the path. Jane made a face and fumed at the spilled milk. Moral of the story, take one step at a time." "Is that the end?" asked Mike. "That's it," said his dad. "What a shame," said Mike. "She had such big plans." Mike's dad nodded. "You can make plans, but planning by itself will not make things happen." Mike sat thinking a bit. Then he said, "Dad, that bedtime tale was not bad, but it was sad. Next time would you tell a fun tale?" "Yes," said his dad, "next time." Okay, so back to our graphic organizer. Again, our title, The Milk. Now going through. the characters. So those are the people or the animals in the story. What were the characters of this story? Yes, we have Jane in this in the little tale that they told, the milk, Jane. And we know that Jane has big dreams, she has big plans. Jane is the girl carrying the bucket of milk on her head. Next is the setting. The setting wasn't very specific, but can you think of where the story took place? Good. A long time ago, outside, she's on the road, maybe a farm, maybe the road, so kind of the location, the timing of the story. And then for the plot, we're going to think about the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end. So in the beginning, Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell. She's going to go walk and take her bucket to town. So at the beginning, she's putting in the bucket, she's getting ready to go sell it. What happens in the middle? This is when Jane makes all of her plans. She's thinking as she's walking, all the plans that she's going to do or make to use the cash from selling the milk. She's going to buy the next animal and so on and so forth. And the ending of the story is Jane spills her milk and she doesn't end up getting any cash. Okay, so hold on to this. We are going to need this organizer for the next step in the writing process that will continue next time. So make sure you have all the parts to this. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. You can fill it on your own and come back and just double check. But you'll need to have this filled out, ready to go to work on step 2 of the writing process. And moving on to the next part of the lesson, here are the spelling words we have this week. You'll only be responsible for this list with the ing ending, but to understand how the words are spelled, all of the words have a root word. A lot of them end with an E, except for hop. And when you have a word that ends in E and you're adding ing, you simply take the E off and then you add ing from there. The word hop is the one that's different, so it doesn't have an E, but hop follows a pattern that we've learned before where you double the ending consonant. So smile, smiling, race, all the way down. So the words you guys are responsible for, smiling, racing, hoping, so the root word hope is different than hop, hoping, baking, inviting, confusing, competing, tasting, hopping, and the tricky word were. And one more time, here's just the list of the words without the root words. This is our spelling list for this week. All ing, dropping the E, adding ing except for hopping, where you're doubling the P. And don't forget to do your Google Forms for lesson 6. And once you're all done, that's it. Great job today. See you next time.